Hey guys, this is John Maxwell again with Next Level Fishing and Camping. How you doing today? I worked last night, slept in, didn't get to do any fishing, the wind was real high. So here we are at the shop again, shooting another video. And today, we're going to talk about what do you have in your boat. We all got friends that we go fishing with in their boat. You'll see things and it's like, well, why is that in there? And they'll show you and it's like, well, why didn't I think about that? So I thought I'd dig a few things out of my boat and kind of show you what I've got and give you some things to think about. One of the things is super glue. You can always glue rod tips and things like that on in a quick fix. I've had handles come off rods on the crank part and I've glued them on with this. But that's handy to have on the boat. Back when I was growing up, fingernail clippers is what everybody used to cut their lines with after they cut the knots and everything. And they still work, but they're not real good on braided line. They have these things that it's simple to cut through the braided line. It makes it so much easier. I think these are about $15, maybe $12, something like that. This is money well spent. If you use braided line and you haven't got one of these, you need to get one. These little alcohol packages right here, they are made to clean the screens of TVs and computers and stuff like that. It's hard enough seeing your monitors, your depth finders, stuff like that when the sun's out. But when they're dirty, it's even worse. Grab you a few of these, put them in a container somewhere, and then when your screens get dirty on your depth finders, you just simply clean them. And you've got them handy and you've got them ready. Magic markers come in handy. One of the things that I do every now and then with the magic marker, Sharpie like this, is when I'm using braided line, I'll color about 4 or 5 foot of it black to help hide the braided line going to the lure. I'll start at the lure, whatever I'm using, and color it black the entire way. It helps hide it from the fish sometimes. Another thing I have is for the tongue of the boat trailer. Every now and then you go somewhere, you have to unhook from your trailer, you're worried about it leaving, coming back, your boat being gone. I carry one of these with me. Pressure gauge for my tires. I always try to keep my tires aired up properly. It saves money, saves wear and tear, and so I've got to where I keep one of these in the boat. Keep a lantern pretty handy. This is a battery operated lantern. A lot of times we're out fishing at night and need to tie a knot, the lines breaks, want to change baits or something like that. Keep a good fresh set of batteries in it. You've always got light to see. Now this is really nothing spectacular. A lot of people have these. This is one of these lights that when you night fish for crappie, things like that, it floats in the water. You hook it up to the battery on your boat and it floats in the water, draws the bait fish up, draws the bigger fish after it. But we've modified it a little bit. I got a buddy named Charlie Witt. Charlie, I call him Sarge. Charlie's the one that got me hooked on bass fishing. He's the one that taught me how to use plastics and things like that. When you go, you've heard the old saying, you better pack a lunch. But when you go fishing with Sarge, you better pack a lunch, you better pack a supper, and it wouldn't hurt to pack breakfast. We've been on the water before at 6 o'clock in the morning and come off at 3 o'clock the next morning. But we've modified this one. We've taken old extension cord, put about 10 foot of cord on it, put some alligator clips to it, and what we do is, at night, because you never know how long you're going to be out there with Sarge, we can use this as a spotlight, grab the handle right here, and shine it on the water to see stumps and stuff like that. It gives us light to move the boat around. It gives us light to throw on the shoreline to kind of mark where we're at. This comes in handy. every now and then, someone's going to get a hook in their hand. And when you do, you're going to have to cut it out. I've always got a pair of dikes with me. I've had that happen on the boat. Happened to my girlfriend. We was fishing, and next thing I know, she's got a lure in her hand. I had to cut it out. We had to take the boat back to the bank to get a pair that I had in the truck to get it out. Since then, I've always got a pair in the boat. Rope. Now, everybody has rope in their boat, but this is rope that is the diameter of the rope on my trolling motor. Me and my brother went fishing one time. The rope on the trolling motor broke. I was lucky enough, I had enough, I could tie a knot in it, but since then I've always kept this in here for emergencies. If my rope ever breaks on my trolling motor again, I'm good to go. Just pull it over to the bank somewhere. About 30 minutes later, I got a new rope tied on, and we're back on the water fishing. This little gadget comes in handy for me a lot. We went fishing one time and stayed at a marina, and the marina had boat slips. Problem was, the electrical plugs on some of the boat slips didn't work. Well, I got pretty upset next morning when I got up, got my boat out on the water, and the trolling motor was charged for about 2 hours. I went to Walmart, and these things were about $5 or $6. This stays on my boat. I bring it home. I plug it in to make sure I'm getting electricity to the cord, and I plug it to the other end, to the cord that plugs into the battery charger. I plug it into the female end of the cord to make sure I'm getting power to my battery charger. Can't ever tell if a breaker's flipped or something like that. But this $5 or $6 is some of the best money I've spent since I've owned my boat. I have a Minn Kota trolling motor on my boat. Went fishing one time, trolling motor didn't work. Now, the propeller of a trolling motor has a shaft that is in behind it. And that shaft has a hole drilled through it, and there's a little metal rod that fits through it. And then the propeller slips over the rod, and as the shaft turns, that rod grabs a hold of that propeller and lets the propeller turn. The ones on my 45-pound thrust Minn Kota are pretty small and have snapped. I was on Lake Fork. Lots of marinas, a couple of boat repair shops. They did not have a little simple rod to fix my trolling motor. A $5 rod. I found an aftermarket prop that would fit my trolling motor. It had the rod in it that I needed, and spent about $30-$40 to get a rod that would have cost me 5 or 6 if I'd bought it before I left. I don't go anywhere without these either. So over the year that I've started fishing, I have accumulated a few things that are on my boat. And I see people with stuff on their boat all the time. What's that for? And it's, why didn't I think of that? So I thought I'd show you some of the things I've got on my boat, why I've got them, get you to thinking, get you better prepared, and maybe help you take your game to the next level.